Welcome back, everyone. The Wombat is back, and the Wombat's back with something absolutely new just for you. So, all you VR headset users out there to play Microsoft or fly in Microsoft Flight Simulator, these are the reviews for you. So, it's going to be all about what this aircraft or the aircrafts I review complement or how they add to the immersion of your VR headset. Is this aircraft worth a purchase? Your dollars, you're grabbing your back pocket, bringing out that wallet. Is it worth it for your VR experience? So what will happen throughout the flight? The WombatOmeter will pop up in your bottom left. It will pop up with a rating of where I currently rate the aircraft. It will be all about the immersion. Thank you. All about the immersion. So it's not going to be, is this aircraft modeled well on the actual real world example? It's going to be all about, does this aircraft have what it takes to bring my VR experience in that massive immersion that we all want when we throw in our headsets. So let's jump into the cockpit. Okay, so here we are in the S-6S Coyote 2 Rans by Flyboys Simulations. Absolutely beautiful looking aircraft, as you saw externally before. But now we're inside. We're going to start with the Wombat's #1 first detail of, or tick on the checklist. Does it have nice big windows that make our VR experience immersive? It does. Have a look. Left, massive door, window, very little structure in the way other than that small bar. Right side, same thing. Absolutely beautiful. These are doors, not just windows. They will open, and we can utilize that when we fly around if we want to look underneath the aircraft. Like a biplane or anything that has big windows, doors, I feel that that's a massive immersive win because we can utilize those to poke our head up. We'll do that in a moment. Well, we can just do it now. We'll have it open while we talk. Okay, front window, brilliant, massive. Again, there is some support struts in the way, structure there. Not a deal breaker because sitting straight here, I can see perfectly well. I can see around it. What I would have liked, again, this is all about immersive, not what the aircraft actually has or not, is a hidden toggle switch somewhere that allows me to remove those. I feel that that's a win because some people don't want to worry about these structures. Now, we've got a window on top. Brilliant. Love it. Again, support structures not too much in the way. A win here straight away is these curtains will be able to come right back. We turn around and we do them again. Look how the detail. Look at the detail. You've got those metal, thin metal bars that just move on that little strip there. And that is what I call beautiful detail for VR. Makes me feel I am here. Everything else here, look at that cabling at the back. Unbelievable. This is what you want in VR, guys. Look at the joinery in all this structure inside. This is what you want in VR. This is an aircraft you absolutely will feel immersed in when you jump inside. Cabling, look at that. Look, again, a negative. We don't have a back window, but what have they replaced it with? Or what? Again, maybe in the real aircraft. If it is, it's awesome. But what they've done is brought it across here to the simulator. Absolutely beautiful. Embossed Coyote 2. Beautiful. Looks real. You can cabling coming from the back here. The Rans emblem in the... That is... Look at that. Brilliant. Cabling again right behind us. Brilliant. Everything brilliant. We had you saw the GoPro up here. Brilliant again. It's just bringing that little touch of realism into the sim that you just love. Obviously nightlight there, which it does complement VR a little because some VR headsets do struggle with brightness. So having that switched on all the time will make that panel, yes, you got your panel lighting, which you see the switch in a moment, but having that on, obviously it'll have a red tint to it, actually allows for a lot of VR headsets to see clearly the instrument panel. So that's actually a win, and obviously not utilize the way that you might utilize it in real life, but when it comes to VR, it helps. So again, we're going to get it started up and make sure, and then have a chat about the instrument panel. Again, we're not too fussed about processes. We just want to get, oh, that's what I wanted. I don't know, I just stood still there for a minute. If you saw the aircraft move and lurch as we started up again, so I'm going to turn it back off. Bang, we lurch as we turn it off. Now watch, I'm going to stay still. There we go, we lurch forward a bit as the prop starts up. And then we turn around here to the wheels. They're bouncing, they're moving, they're going up. The struts are vibrating on the wheels and the wings. Look at this. The sound changes. And we close that window. The actual aircraft did move because obviously our body would have moved to close that window, and the aircraft moved slightly. I don't have wind on, or there's very low wind, so it wouldn't have been that. That's brilliant. But the sound changes. I've been in so many aircraft in VR where windows open and doors open. The sound doesn't change. So that's a win. Instrument panel, brilliant. It's enough for VR. So again, everything that should be color coded, you can easily view without going up close. Again, downfall of a lot of VR, especially older ones, you don't see text too well. So having these pretty straightforward. Ooh, you don't need panel lights. Again, panel lights is quite handy for VR to have those on a lot of the time. So again, very clear navigational glass cockpit screens and so forth. We're not going to have 70-inch displays, unfortunately, in your on your instrument panel glass cockpits. There are always going to be smaller screens, but it's enough for the VR headset. I can clearly see the airfields that I'm going to be flying around today. If you had a flight plan up there, you can clearly see your tracking and so forth quite easily. And all the steam gauges are easy to read without going up really close and seeing. So I think the instrument panel is beautiful for VR. So far really only no back window, no bottom window, and the struts without a toggle is a downfall. The struts I'm not marking down because they're not physically in the way with VR, but some people would like that toggle switch, would have given a plus point. So at the moment, before we depart, I'm going to rate the aircraft very highly. The detail inside is unbelievable. Haven't even got to the wings. Have a look at the detail and joinery outside of these wings. These are unbelievable. Rivets underneath the wing. You've got bolts down here on the joinery here to the main aircraft. Absolutely brilliant. We've already spoken about the wheels and the vibration. Again, high wing's always going to be a win. Not always on the ground because you don't get to see, especially in bush strips like this, too much because it does cover the view. But obviously for your control surfaces, you're going to be able to see that. Top window, great, because we're going to be able to see our rudder. We view around there. You can see at the back our rudder as well. We can also open the window and poke our head out if we wanted to. So let's get in the air and get started. Apologise for any stuttering. It does still happen occasionally on my VR. So we're just around a couple of bush strips in Canada. Could have got off on that hump, but we'll wait for the next one. So they're very rough strips. And again, have a look, the wheels turning, beautiful, vibration stopped. I wish I got over to that wheel before we, as we departed the ground. Having a look at that top window, brilliant. You don't get that top window on many aircraft, and it is absolutely brilliant. So anytime an aircraft has that, it's a massive tick in the WombatOmeter. So currently we're sitting quite high, close to 90%. There's only actually one mark above that, so to get 100% for the WombatOmeter. But that will only change now if it goes up or down. Again, panoramic. Have a look at the mountains in the distance. We've got a bit of cloud in the distance, but we're absolutely, these windows is what you want in VR. Again, we can easily sharp bank here and have a look through that top window if we were doing a sharp bank, or in a valley or something like that. You've got those top windows to use. Always going to be a win in VR with the top wing as well for when you're in the air. Obviously taxiing around, it's a bit icy, there's a downer, but again, beautiful. Again, instrument panel, perfect. Bars or support beams, not an issue looking up and straight ahead. Definitely not on the left. Sound is brilliant. Aircraft windows are vibrating how they should, and I can see that. I basically feel like I'm in the aircraft. So quickly just gonna pop the window open, or door. Definitely a sound change again. Man, we're gonna pop our head out. Look at that. We can pop our head down, look at the back, look at the front, we can see the prop spinning. absolutely brilliant. There's where we departed from. Great. Like again, a big win. And looking at that wing, absolutely brilliant. So let's come down and descend slightly. And I'll show you something else before we come in for a landing. This is where we departed from, but we're going to land over there on the right. So we're going to pull a 270. So we're going to just quickly, again, show you the advantage of a back window. So if you are ascending, you can clearly see out the back, especially if you're in valleys and if you're out front, you know, again, it's just that top window makes such a big difference. These massive side windows, look at the mountains as we scan around there. Massive, massive view. Toggle switch would be a big win. Alright, so now we're just going to lower down a bit and then head towards our landing. Now what I'm going to do when we land, I'm going to quickly pivot again to our wheel. The Wombat will do that a lot. And have a look at how that wheel reacts. Because again, most aircraft, well not most, but a lot of aircraft, you don't have the advantage to see the wheels like this aircraft. And when you can, you want to make sure it's doing what it should be. Because if it's not, then it just ruins that immersion. It doesn't matter if you're flying a Cessna 172 and you can't see that, so it doesn't matter if it didn't react or it reacted. Who cares? But with this aircraft, it does, because we're obviously right here. You feel like you can touch it. Well, literally, you could touch it. Again, plenty of visual representation of what's happening outside, and the bars aren't killing me. They're there. Be great to have a toggle switch, as I said. The inside is just brilliant. The detail, that joinery is just fabulous. It did come in a bit high, but we'll be fine once we go up here. There we go. And having a look, and we're going to lurch, wait for it. Vibration is perfect, and bang. So again, we went forward, we came back, the aircraft settled. So you saw the splating out, splating in, and we've still got a little bit of up and down with the pressures there. We've got a bit of rocks out there, so we might have to somehow pivot around those. I'll head back and finish off the review. So Wombat is still his second highest rating. Oh, they're going to hurt those rocks. Oh, whoa. Is that a ball? A wild ball. G'day, buddy. Love your work. Again, so Flyboys Simulation's done a really good job here. Again, having a look at those bushes and trees and the windows, it's not about the area, but about can you see it all? And you can. Look. And this is why I'm flying in areas like this, because it's showing off that if you don't have these windows, you don't have these large windows, you don't have the unobstructed views, I don't want the aircraft. There's a tiny window, well, I don't see a point, you know, so that's why. Oh God, what do we got here, dog? We do. Buddy, come out to say hello to me. You're just gonna get sucked into the prop wash. Alright, we'll just park up here for a moment. Not gonna switch her off. So, big wins, windows, detail inside, phenomenal. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. It's just absolutely awesome. Remember, these reviews are for you, VR user you. Look at the detail we have all around. Cabling, embossed Coyote 2, RANs written on the strap, on the belts there. The material on the seats. It is high textured stuff, guys. It's rendered beautifully. It's done amazingly. Oh, I didn't compliment the nightlight here. It's awesome. You can actually utilize that for VR headsets, because a lot of VR headsets, especially older ones, they're very dark. So you can actually utilize this, not how it's meant to be used, but use it for an advantage of your VR headset. By switching that on, you'll actually see your dash a lot clearer. So again, not how it's meant to be used, but for VR, it's fantastic. So we can use it during the day. Yes, it's for the night, but for the day, in the middle of the day, I would actually, if I had an older headset, I would utilize this. panel lights we already spoke about. So other than that, guys, it's only really an advantage would be a toggle switch for immersion on the support structures. We don't have a bottom window, we don't have a back window. Sounds are brilliant, structure, how joinery, everything's brilliant. Always going to be a tick for a higher wing aircraft just for views and immersion. This is brilliant. I can't rate this down other than that few little things that I've already rated as not a negative but just missed out on. So again, the reviews about how this aircraft complements your VR headset. It's not about represent the real life aircraft as good as it can be. I'd say this is pretty close, but that's not what it's about. It has so many things going for it to make your immersive experience that the Wombat is not going to change his rating. It's still going to be rated as his second top rating. What we call this in the WombatOmeter world is hell yeah, you can be my wingman anytime. This is an aircraft you must get if you've got a VR headset. Wombat's going to sign out now, but thanks guys for joining me for my first VR review. More coming. I'm hoping to get these under 15 minutes. I know initially they might be longer. I apologise for stuttering and so forth. That is only going to get better. I've got to do a few upgrades on my system, but other than that, everything is brilliant with this aircraft. Hopefully you enjoyed the VR review. If you want me to add some extra detail in there, pop it in the comments, or anything you want me to look at when I'm in an aircraft in VR to help you make your decision if you want that VR. I might add it into my checklist to determine what my WombatOmeter rating is. So again, second from the top, this aircraft's basically rated to go grab it. You want this flying with you and flying with you as a wingman. So thanks guys, Wombat out.